Welcome to From the Hood to Hair. In the last episode, I talked about diving deeper into my life in the hood, and this episode, we're going to do just that. So today I want to talk about what life was really like growing up in the hood, and I don't want to give you the stereotype version, and I definitely don't want to give you a movie type version. Because a lot of what I learned back then, I still carry in my work and in my life today, whether I realize it or not. Growing up, there was always this energy. That's the best way I can describe it. You're always reading the room and you're always aware of who's around you. You're always clocking tone, posture, and most of all, silence. You learn really young when to speak and when not to, when to move and when to stay still. And that kind of awareness just doesn't turn off. It wires itself into you. I can still remember moments where nothing was said, but everything came across crystal clear. And that awareness, that sensitivity ended up becoming my biggest strengths later in life. There's this idea that the hood is just nothing but chaos, but that's not the full truth. There was protection too. There were people that weren't your family, but that looked out for you and your family looked out for them. And at the same time, yes, there was uncertainty. Yes, there was instability, but there were things that you just shouldn't normalize as a kid. You learn fast how to navigate contradictions and how to survive in the gray areas. That duality shaped me more than I even realized. What I didn't have growing up is the language to what I felt drawn to. I knew I was curious enough and I knew I was creative, but I just didn't know what that would become one day. There were dreams, but they were blurry. They were just unnamed dreams that I had. And to be honest with you, sometimes they felt like off limits to me. Not because anyone said no, just because I didn't have examples of what to aspire to. So you adapt, you keep moving forward, you keep your head down even though you don't know where forward is going to lead you. Looking back now, I could just see the lessons so clearly. Hindsight is 2020. My first lesson that I learned was how to read people. And that shows up everywhere in my work. Consultations, on set, in classroom settings for education. I can feel when someone needs reassurance or when they just need a little bit of space, or when they're not saying what they actually mean. That comes from survival, but it turned into intuition. Another lesson that I learned was adaptability. I learned to move between worlds, how to observe before acting, and how to adjust without losing myself. That's how I navigate through fashion spaces, educational spaces, creative spaces, even when I wasn't supposed to be there. And maybe the biggest lesson is consistency builds respect. In the hood, respect isn't about being the loudest. It's about showing up the same way over and over again. That principle stayed with me. I didn't chase validation. I focused on results. And eventually, people noticed. When clients sit in my chair, they feel safe. Not just because of skill, but because I see them. When I'm teaching, I'm not trying to dominate the room. I'm holding it. And when I'm creating, I'm always aware of energy. Who's present, what's needed, and what matters. All of that traces back to where I started. I used to think that I had to leave the hood behind in order to move forward. But now I understand I didn't leave it. I translated it. Those early lessons didn't limit me, they prepared me. So in the next episode, I want to talk about identity, about choosing myself, about claiming space, and what it really meant to fully step into who I am in an industry that wasn't built with me in mind. That's next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next episode from the Hood to Hair.